For our first year with the Right Brain Initiative, we worked with Keefe. Our first and second graders got to work with this Portland photographer, and she helped us do writing with photography and blend it all together. So the process starts with planning. First, the arts team sat down with Keefe to talk about the whole school's goals, and then each grade level team sat down with Julie to talk about our goals as a school and the students' interests and their goals.
What's most important that you're working on with your kids this year? That can be I mean, I'm sure there's a lot.
Literacy, self-control, and respect.
We decided to do a neighborhoods unit when we found out that Keefe was going to be our artist, and this tied in really well with one of our International Baccalaureate units on neighborhoods, and that way the students could learn more about the people in their neighborhood, how a neighborhood works, and then they could take photos and write about their neighborhood. So we first started with Keefe, where the students got to talk about a camera, what they know about a camera, and then we turned and looked at each other and talked about different perspectives that you could do. And she used really great kid language, from the bird's perspective, or the dog's perspective, or our perspective. And then from there, the kids took photos outside of their partner. So they took photos of each other doing different things and different motions, and then from there they moved into taking photos of the community members. Just a wide range of community members to come, and the students were able to talk to them. We had a custodian, we had one of our secretaries, we had a cartoonist, we had a photographer.
How long have I been doing animation? Oh, the cartoons. The cartoons. I've been doing the cartoons for a long time. I started when I was 12.
You had a job when you were
No, I started doing it just for fun. My childhood neighborhood, I had 2 childhood neighborhoods. One of them was this neighborhood. Yeah, my grandparents, they used to live right over on 12th Street, close to going. It's like if you go over to 12th, you'd be right there.
What I mostly started to see with the students after they started this residency with Keefe was how interested they were in their neighborhood. They didn't really talk about it all before, but we were able to do walks, and anytime we were outside, they thought it was so cool that they were in the neighborhood and they were part of a neighborhood. So after the residency ended, we met with Right Brain and Keefe, and as a whole group we talked about what went well with the residency, what we thought we could have changed, and it was the first time that I've done our residency where we actually reflected.
They were so engaged in the neighbors, and I just loved how you guys prepped them for it. They were all ready with the questions. You did all this front loading. To me, I feel like I was in each of your classrooms more than 5 times.
And I think they learned so much more on neighborhoods having the interviews than they would have us even just walking around. And we could have had like the geographic idea of a neighborhood, but to get like the community feel, it was so much more. And to have them interview those kids, those adults, was incredible.
And it was tangible. So for first and second graders, like looking at a map, big whoop, right? Like cool. I mean, maybe like 1 or 2 of our kids that like maps would think it's cool. The rest, there's like no relativity. So being able for them to understand and formulate questions upon what they want to learn about somebody in their neighborhood and in their community and what their role is was fantastic.
So one of the neatest things about this project was that we were able to give back to the community. Keefe has a lot of connections with different places in the neighborhood, and she knows a lot of people from the North Portland Library. And she was able to get our student work up in the library so that the community members could come in and see the work in a whole gallery setting. I think the most amazing part that I took away from this was to see the kids reflect on themselves and the different things they wrote on the photos or wrote on the matting around the photos, reflecting on who they were and what they noticed from the photos. It was just a really incredible insight into how a 6, 7, 8-year-old thinks about themselves and how much power a photo can really has.